Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, الذي علف بالإسلام بين قلوب المؤمنين وأوجب الاتحاد وحرم التفرق في كتابه المبين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله هدى من يشاء إلى صراط المستقيم، وأشهد أن سيدنا محمد رسول الله خير داع إلى طريق القويم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه الذين تهذبت نفوسهم وتهذبت قلوبهم فكانوا سادة المنصورين. أما بعد، فيا عباد الله، أوصيكم ونفسي أولا بتقوى الله تعالى وطاعته. That is, all praise is due to Allah, who has united the hearts of the believer in Islam and has made it an obligation to remain united and has made it forbidden to become separated in his clear book. I bear witness that there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, who guides to the straight path whom he wills. And I bear witness that our leader Muhammad is his messenger and the best caller to the way that is straight. O Allah, send your prayers and your peace upon our leader Muhammad and upon his family and upon his companions, whose hearts were united and whose souls were educated, so that they became victorious leaders. And what follows thereafter, O believers of Allah, I advise you, as well as I advise myself, to first have the proper regard for Allah and thereafter be obedient to him. Dear believers, I greet you with the universal greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be with you. Dear believers, this week, the attribute that we are looking at is Al-Basit, Al-Basit, and that means the extender. And we hear this term, we hear this word extending, to extend, throughout the Quran, and the most one of the most familiar verses that we have talks about Allah's throne extending over the heavens and the earth. But what we want to look at is, in the Quran, there's a conversation about where the statement is made, similar to the dua that's typically given at the end of Jumu'ah. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan. Allah, give us good in this life and good in the next. So this person is asking Allah for good in this life and good in the next. And so Allah says, and in the verse he talks, and then I'm not going to do a direct quote. Allah says in the Quran, he says that his punishment is given to whom he wills. Allah gives his punishment to whom he wills, and we know that from the Quran and from the teachings of the Prophet, the punishment is given to those who do not follow Allah's will, who do things that are not in accordance with what he desires, and it's laid out throughout the teachings of the Prophet and also in the Quran. So he says he gives his punishment to whom he wills, but he extends, Al-Basit, he extends his mercy to all things. So here, in this beautiful statement that Allah gives his punishment to whom he wills, but he extends his mercy to all things. Allah does not withhold his mercy from even those who are going to be punished. Allah still provides them mercy. Allah still extends his mercy to them. So sometimes we get to a place in our religious life where we feel as though we forget sometimes. We forget where we've come from. We forget some of the experiences we've had. We forget our shortcomings. And if you live the righteous life your entire life, I pray that Allah continues you on that path, and that your family and your children grow up to be just like you. But there are some who did not start off in the way you see them now. There are some who experienced things and did things and went through things, and they are so far away from who they used to be that you wouldn't recognize them. But so they had the mercy of Allah extended to them. Sometimes we beat ourselves up. Sometimes we were so hard on ourselves. We say that Allah will not give me. Allah will not extend his mercy to me because I did this, because I did that. I used to live this way. I used to treat people this way. I used to not pray. I used to not give charity. I've done horrible things. So sometimes we get emotional. It troubles us. But it says that Allah will extend his mercy to all things. And so what we see is now that we're in this new religious space, or even if we're not in a religious space, we're just a little bit better than what we used to be. You know, we were living in this harsh condition. We were harsh people. We had this exterior. We had this way of living. The way that we were viewed by others was a certain way. And people would look at us and say, "Oh, you're going to hell." And sometimes we would say that about ourselves. "Oh, I know where I'm going. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not worried about it." We were so far away from what God wanted us to be. We are so far away from who we are now. And sometimes we said that God won't forgive me. What am I going to stop doing this for? I'm outside of the reach of God. There's no way that God will reach out to me. We thought we were destined for punishment. But Allah says he punishes whom he wills. But he extends his mercy to all things. And we fall under that. The time that we were living this way, the time that maybe we did suffer some punishment. Maybe we went to jail. Maybe we got things on our record. Maybe some relationships broke up. Maybe we lost some money. Maybe we were injured. We were punished for those choices that we made. But Allah still found a way. Allah gave us breath. So we lived. We lived through that. Allah didn't take us then. Allah didn't take us at that moment and give us that punishment. Allah extended his mercy to us. He said, "Go on and live another day. Maybe you'll start making better choices." And so maybe we were gone another year. Maybe we went another 2 years and we're still living this foul way. Maybe somebody's living that way right now. And you're still struggling with maybe Allah won't forgive me. He says he extends his mercy to all things. And so we looked at our lives and we began to see that what we were doing was not benefiting ourselves. Maybe we hit rock bottom. You know, rock bottom is going to teach you a whole lot more than any mountaintop. Rock bottom is going to teach you what it means to need God, what it means to sincerely call on God when I don't have anything else, when all I have is my pain, when all I have is my thoughts, all I have is my trauma, and I feel that I'm being punished. And maybe I brought it on myself. Maybe the choices that I made, I brought it on myself and I'm being punished for it. But that doesn't mean I'm outside of the reach of Allah's mercy, outside of the mercy of God. He says he extends his mercy to all things. So that includes me. It includes you. You are inside the reach. Allah can reach you with his mercy. He's going to give his punishment to who he wills, but that does not mean that you are absent and you cannot be reached. by his mercy. It's in the Quran. As Muslims, as believers, we believe that the word of Allah is true. And so if Allah says he can extend, or he will extend his mercy to all things, we should take comfort in that. We should make ourselves available for that. If we realize that maybe I'm doing something that I may be punished for, or something that could eventually lead me to getting punishment, maybe I'm making the wrong choices. That moment of me thinking of that moment of me realizing that, taking the time to then realize that I can change my life, that's the mercy of Allah. That's the mercy of Allah. Astaghfirullah li wa lakum, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Ameen. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على آل محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. So this verse starts off talking about this conversation, asking Allah to give us good in this life and good in the next, in the hereafter, giving us a good life in this life and good in the hereafter. Because sometimes some of us, and it's mentioned in Hadith and the Quran, where some of us may just ask for this life, ask for good in this life. So we just ask for good things in this life, and you'll see people sometimes, they just want to make it rich, no matter what. They want to have the nice cars, the nice house. They want to be surrounded by those that are appealing to them, those that make others envious. They want all the good things of this life, but they don't take any consideration about the next. They don't have any forethought about the next. But here Allah is saying in the Quran, it talks about asking for the good in this life and good in the next. Asking for the mercy of Allah in this life and in the next. Not just being short-sighted to thinking about having what is good and pleasing to you right now, but having the next life that is pleasing. So here we're going back to Al-Basit, the extender. Allah's mercy can extend from you in this present life, living, breathing, interacting with creation. Allah's mercy can reach you here as a baby, fresh outside of your mother, inside of your mother, where she's healthy, where she carried you, where she kept you safe without deformities. And if you have deformities, still kept you alive and you were born. Allah's mercy was there when your mother had food to eat, when your mother had nourishment, when your mother suffered herself just so you could be born. Allah's mercy was there that you didn't have to feel that pain. Allah's mercy was there when you first got here, before you got here. And so Allah's mercy went with you as you were a child and as you grew up and you became educated. And perhaps you experienced some things, perhaps you went through some things, but Allah didn't cause you to die and be held accountable for your actions right then. Allah's mercy extended to you in your adolescence, when you were making those poor decisions, maybe your college days, when you were wilding out, maybe as you carried on a little bit older, and the decisions you made, Allah's mercy was there, allowed you to get an education. Then Allah's mercy allowed you to have a family. His mercy reached you. It reached your spouse. It reached your children that you had. Allah's mercy extended. And as you became older and your children began to have grandchildren that pleased you, that looked like you, Allah's mercy, the same Allah who could reach back into time from your very birth, before you were here on this planet that Allah made in a way that was going to sustain life. Allah's mercy extended way back to before the dinosaurs. Allah's mercy extended as you had grandchildren and you begin to teach them things. He made his mercy there for you to be available to teach them about your experiences, to teach your children, to teach your grandchildren. And maybe you got to see your grandchildren, great-grandchildren. Allah's mercy extended all the way back from the word be, and it was, and creation began. And the universe began to expand. Allah's mercy was there and extended way back there. And now here you are, this great grandparent looking at your great grandchild, this grandparent teaching things to your grandchild. Allah's mercy, Al-Basit, the extender, was there. And so now, whatever your final day was, and your final day is, Allah's mercy still there. Maybe you set up a thing for your family where they've got life insurance and they're able to bury you and they're able to go on and support them. Allah's mercy is extending there. And then as the day of judgment comes up and you live your life in a good way, inshallah. And then masjids, you help support, build masjids through your charity, through your good works, through your teaching. You learned the Quran and you taught it to somebody. And your mercy, you built wells, and people are drinking from these wells. And over time, they're experiencing things that you left. Allah's mercy is there. The same mercy that was there when the sun first started being bright. The same mercy extended to now. You're on the day of judgment and being questioned by your creator. All the things that you were supposed to do, all the things that how you were supposed to live your life. And Allah says, come on. Now, I'm not quoting, don't quote me to say that, you get there and Allah doesn't say, come on, he said something else. This is just me saying that. But Allah invites you into paradise. So Allah's mercy extended, and all these things that you read about in the Quran, you hear in the hadith of the Prophet, narrations of what it may be like, of what paradise is like. And we can't imagine it, but we read it and we see it and we envision these things, but we know Allah's mercy is there. There's a verse, a hadith that talks about where Allah sent one of his mercies down and remained 99% of the 99 mercies are still left in the next life. And we know about Rahman and Rahim. We know about this mercy of Allah that extended from the creation of time, from the creation of everything. Allah's mercy extended from there all the way to you as a baby. Extended from there all the way through your entire life and then into the next life. Allah is Al-Basit, the extender. And so we think that because maybe we've done something, maybe I was a little crazy for a few years, maybe I did some things for a few months, maybe I made one or two bad decisions, that I'm outside of the reach, that Allah's mercy will not be extended to me. I'm so far gone that Allah's mercy can't reach me. Dear believers, it says in the Quran, no just estimate do they make of their Lord. So don't think that you're beyond the reach, or Allah's mercy cannot be extended to you. Have faith. Have faith in your Creator. Have faith in Al-Basit, the extender. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له بذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين.